Did Coronation Street just kill off one of its darkest villains? Or did Theo Silverton's death only open the door to an even bigger secret? Coronation Street ended its murder week with a shocking twist on Friday, May 1st, as Theo Silverton was found dead at the bottom of the scaffolding. And this was not presented as a tragic accident. Theo did not simply fall. Someone killed him. The terrifying chain of events began earlier in the week, when Todd Grimshaw found himself trapped in another nightmare with his abusive husband. On Monday night, April 27th, Todd had told George he would be late to the Rovers. But instead of a quiet moment at home, Theo suddenly appeared in the flat uninvited. At first, Theo tried to act calm, even insisting on cooking Todd a so-called last meal. But the scene quickly turned sinister. The situation spiraled into violence, and Todd was forced to defend himself with a knife. In one of the most disturbing moments, Theo even pushed Todd to stab him, as if he wanted to drag Todd into something he could never come back from. That moment says a lot about Theo's mindset. He was not just trying to hurt Todd physically. He wanted control over Todd's fear, guilt, and future. Even when Todd was fighting to survive, Theo was still trying to manipulate the situation. George arrived just in time and helped Todd trap Theo in the bedroom. Todd and George managed to escape and call the police, but by the time Kit and his team arrived, Theo had already climbed down the scaffolding and disappeared. George then tried to get Todd away from danger by sending him in a taxi to the airport. Todd was meant to leave for Thailand, but everything changed when he realized he had left his phone behind. That one small mistake pulled him straight back into danger. When Todd returned home, Theo was waiting. And he had Todd's phone. Friday's episode then picked up the aftermath of that confrontation. Theo chased Todd, desperately trying to force him into a conversation. But Todd was no longer just scared. He looked exhausted, cornered, and emotionally drained. After everything Theo had put him through, Todd seemed like someone running not only from a person, but from months of trauma. While Theo's final hours played out, the rest of the street was also drowning in chaos. Maggie had Megan hanging over the edge and seemed ready to kill her before Will stepped in. Then came another painful revelation. Maggie exposed that Megan had aborted Will's baby. Megan, clearly broken by everything happening around her, chose to walk away. Meanwhile, the truth about Jody's confrontation also came out. It was Lily who had faced her, not someone from Jody's past. Later, Jody returned to the Platts' house and lost control, smashing the place up before attacking Sarah and leaving her unconscious. Shona later found Sarah and rushed her to hospital. Theo then returned to his flat, where Summer unknowingly let herself in. When Theo confronted her, she was visibly terrified. That scene made it clear that even with Todd out of reach, Theo still carried danger with him everywhere he went. Elsewhere, Ronnie was seen panicking with an unconscious Carl in the back of his car. Debbie left him an emotional voicemail about her son, while Ronnie later cleaned his car with disinfectant. For a moment, Carl's fate looked deeply worrying, though he was later confirmed to be in hospital. At the police station, Kit told Leanne, Eva, and Toya that new information had come to light about Megan's files, adding yet another layer to an already messy night. Todd eventually managed to escape and called Christina, who came to collect him. But when they returned to George's house, one detail stood out immediately. George had changed his jumper. That small change raised a big question. Was George hiding something? Or was Coronation Street deliberately pointing suspicion in his direction? Then came the final reveal. A drunken Betsy stumbled down the Ginnel and screamed after finding Theo's lifeless body beneath the scaffolding. Theo's death has left fans completely divided. Some viewers were relieved to see him gone after everything he had done to Todd. Others felt the ending robbed Todd of real justice. For them, Theo should have faced prison and punishment, not a sudden death that ended the storyline too quickly. And honestly, that reaction makes sense. Theo's death may remove the immediate threat, but it does not automatically heal Todd. In fact, it may leave him with even more trauma, more questions, and possibly even more suspicion hanging over him. As for who killed Theo, George's changed jumper feels like the biggest clue right now, but it could easily be a misdirection. Christina's sudden involvement, Todd's panic, Summer's encounter with Theo, and the chaos around the scaffolding all leave room for another twist. The killer may be someone who acted in fear, someone trying to protect Todd, or someone who had reached their breaking point after seeing what Theo had become. One thing is certain, Theo Silverton's death is not the end of the story. It is the beginning of the next mystery. What do you think really happened to Theo? And was this justice for Todd, or did Coronation Street take the easy way out? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more Coronation Street updates.